It's Tuesday, February 18. In the headlines, Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center to transform tourism with AI initiatives. $500 million for electronic land titling project. In regional news, Newsline 360 explores the fact that several Caribbean countries are set to hold elections this year. And in sports, 23 players named in the Reggae Girls squad, Bunny Shaw not included. Find out why. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. $500 million has been allocated for the government's electronic land titling project in the 2025-2026 estimates of expenditure, now before the House of Representatives. The project, being implemented by the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, is intended to improve the efficiency of the land registration process from the point of application through to issuing of a legally binding proof of title. One of the project's main targeted outcomes is improving the capacity, speed, and service levels for the National Land Agency land titles, surveys, and mapping, and land valuation divisions. Approximately $4 billion is forecast to be spent on the full implementation of the electronic land titling project, which is expected to be completed by March 2027. The Global Resilience and Crisis Management Center is set to transform the tourism industry with artificial intelligence-driven initiatives. Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett says these efforts will enhance training, digital marketing, and crisis management to make the sector more resilient and future-ready. The details in this report.
Speaking at the Global Resilience Conference and Expo in Hanover, Minister Bartlett said AI will play a key role in destination management, using real-time data analytics to monitor travel trends, risk, and consumer behaviors.
Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management will be rolling out a series of AI-driven initiatives designed to enhance destinations worldwide, from dedicated training and capacity-building programs to thought leadership and advocacy efforts. By equipping tourism stakeholders with cutting-edge digital skills, we aim to reshape the industry, making it more agile, inclusive, and future-ready. These initiatives collectively stand to transform global tourism. They illustrate how resilient building efforts can range from environmental sustainability to public health, from heritage preservations to digital innovation, all converging to create a seamless and sustainable global tourism environment.
The minister also highlighted the importance of AI-powered crisis communication to deliver accurate and timely updates during emergencies.
Getting precise information, adequate and proper information about what's happening, where it's happening, how it's happening, who it's happening by, who is affected is critical to crisis management. And that's a huge part of the job that we have to do to enable robust crisis communication. And by weaving these digital tools into tourism strategies, we can foresee disruptions, respond effectively to crises, and ensure the continuity of this vital sector.
The two-day conference brings together global tourism leaders to explore digital transformation, AI applications, and cybersecurity in tourism. Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I am Denida Rodney.
Some commuters in sections of Kingston, Portmore, and Spanish Town were left stranded Tuesday morning as some drivers of the state-owned Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, are on strike. The company has confirmed that drivers at its Rockford, Portmore, and Spanish Town depots, who are represented by the University and Allied Workers Union, withdrew their service effective 4 a.m. on Tuesday. They are demanding that 2 of their colleagues, represented by the Union of Clerical, Administrative, and Supervisory Employees, be fired. Their demand follows an incident involving 3 JUTC employees where a driver was allegedly assaulted. The JUTC says information was communicated to the unions and staff on Monday, with the assurance that on conclusion of investigation, appropriate action will be taken. Water supply to customers in sections of Hanover and Westmoreland served by the Logwood Treatment Plant will be temporarily suspended from 9 p.m. on Thursday, February 20, 2025, to 6 a.m. on Friday, February 21, 2025, in order to facilitate maintenance work by the National Water Commission team. According to a release from the NWC, areas to be affected include Logwood, Marchtown, Cave Valley, Santoy, Orange Bay, Negril, Sheffield, Green Island, Salt Spring, Winchester Housing Scheme, Coldwell, Pell River, Archwell, Saxham, Bloody Bay, Sheffield, West End, New Hope, and Norman Manley Boulevard. The NWC says it regrets any inconvenience this may cause and urges its valued customers to store water for use during this outlined period. This week, we look at what you should expect and demand from your healthcare authorities in our Living Healthy report so that you and your family can continue living healthy.
Everyone needs access to healthcare, but just because a patient has been treated, it doesn't mean their condition will improve. In fact, when care is not of sufficient quality, treatments might not work or could even cause harm. Around the world, more deaths are due to poor quality care than lack of access to health services. 15% of deaths in low and middle income countries are caused by poor quality care, and in high income countries, 1 in 10 patients are harmed while receiving hospital care. The need for action is clear. To make sure that health services provide quality care that improves people's health, care should be effective, so you accurately diagnosed and receive treatment that works. Safe, so the healthcare that you receive doesn't harm you. People-centered, so decisions made about your care are tailored to your needs and you're treated with compassion. And timely, so you receive care when you need it. It should also be equitable, so all people receive the healthcare they need. Integrated, so different health workers and facilities all work together to improve your care. And efficient, so available resources are used more effectively to improve your health and avoid waste. WHO is calling on countries to take action on quality of care and is working with them to develop policies and plans so that all patients are cared for in environments that have the right infrastructure and health workers are well trained and given the time, resources, and support to provide quality care. We're encouraging governments and health organizations to listen to the people and communities they serve, find new ways of relating and working together, and learn from failures and successes. WHO is also supporting countries to take early action on critical areas like maternal and child health, patient safety, infection prevention and control, and water, sanitation, and hygiene. While action on quality is needed around the world, we also have a particular focus on fragile and conflict-affected settings, where the need for healthcare improvement is often urgent. We are working with partners towards the Sustainable Development Goals, which stress that quality is a key element of universal health coverage. In the words of the WHO Director General, quality is not a given. It takes vision, planning, investment, compassion, meticulous execution, and rigorous monitoring, from the national level to the smallest, remotest clinic.
Time now for the Business Report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. It was the best of times and the worst of times for listed companies on the Jamaica Stock Exchange that released their most recent financial results. First up, real estate property owner and landlord Stanley Motor Limited unaudited financials for the 12 months ending December 31, 2024 reports a 76% increase in year-end net profit. Next, real estate developer and consumer goods distributor Fontana Limited unaudited financials for the 6 months ending December 31, 2024 reports 6 months net profit of $387 million. However, media conglomerate Radio Jamaica Limited, RJR, unaudited financials for the 9 months ending December 31, 2024 report 9 months net loss of $329.39 million. And Mailpack Group Limited unaudited financials for the 12 months ending December 31, 2024 reports a year-end net profit of $253.15 million. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica says consumers have paid less for goods in January 2025 than in December 2024. Statin reports that consumer prices dipped by 0.3 percentage points in January, compared with an increase of 1.2 percentage points in December. Porsche Jamaica senior sales executive Rashida Gopi says that sales of the $45 million Porsche 911 Carrera 4GTS T-Hybrid have been doing well. She explained, "We have been improving in terms of sales volumes. Order demands for the 911 have increased since 2022. So we moved from first ever selling over 50 units in 2022 to getting closer to 60 units in 2024, with us selling for the first time in 2024 4 $45 million 911s in 1 month." Gopi pointed out, "So our pace has been steady, but we're now looking to do about 70 to 80 sales of this car for this year. That's the target we're working on." She continued in her interview with ourtoday.com saying, "We as Jamaicans, we're very proud people. We like to be the one that has the only one of this type. So it's not a surprise to me. It's just in our nature, in our culture." For the trading period ending February 17, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Toll road operator Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited with 5,214,348 units traded, representing 26.32% of market sales volume. Alternative energy provider Wigton Energy Limited with 2,025,979 units traded, representing 10.23% of market sales volume. Advertising agency and real estate holding company Kentire Holdings Jamaica Limited with 2,014,174 units traded, representing 10.17% of market sales volume. On February 17, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $40.87 million purchased and US $51.66 million sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.80 per dollar, selling the US at $158.44 and buying the US at $156.64. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $1.35 per transactions, with selling at $111.97 and buying at $110.62. The British pound yielded Forex traders 90 cents in profit, with selling at $198.82 and buying at $197.92. For our credit report tip of the day, every step you take to improve your credit score is a strategic investment in your financial future, one that opens doors to lasting opportunities. Let's look at how we can make some positive changes. First, aim for improved loan approvals. A better credit score increases your chances of getting approved for both personal and business loans. Or consider favorable refinancing options. A better credit score unlocks opportunities to refinance existing debt at better rates. Another benefit is reduced monthly payments. A better credit score lowers interest and fees, leading to more manageable monthly expenses. Now, if you are building something from nothing and looking for resilience and recovery in your financial life, you're familiar with burnout. When burnout strikes, even our best intentions can lead to decisions that strain our cash flow and shake our confidence, particularly for professional women over the age of 45. Now, consider pairing common challenges with strategies designed to help you regain control. So if your challenge is insufficient retirement contributions, then your strategy is to prioritize retirement contributions. So you're going to invest in your future self. How about the challenge of inconsistent income streams, which then causes a lot of connected challenges? Then your strategy is to explore additional income streams that align with your passions. And here's the big one: rising cost of living. Now, this requires a strategy of reviewing and adjusting spending habits regularly. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
Several Caribbean nations are heading to the polls this year, raising questions about whether incumbents can hold their ground or if opposition parties will gain momentum. The latest edition of Newsline 360 on TVC Channel 40 explored this issue, with political analyst Peter Wickham weighing in.
Jamaica's election is constitutionally due by September 2025, and for political analyst Peter Wickham, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is facing a battle of integrity.
Ultimately, the way that this thing is set up that he has to answer questions that are presented to him, and he has to answer them comprehensively. My sense, though, if I look at the thing globally, that would not be the reason that he would lose an election. My feeling is that the bigger issue is the cost of living in Jamaica, which was Biden's undoing, and the undoing of several other leaders in the Caribbean that have gone to the polls in recent times, leaders in the world that have gone to the polls in recent times. My sense is that is a bigger factor now than questions of his integrity. And I've always argued that my polling in the Caribbean has suggested that matters of personal integrity in relation to leadership is not a big ticket item in Caribbean.
In Trinidad and Tobago, their election is also due this year by the summer, and Mr. Wickham commended outgoing Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. Dr. Rowley resigned as leader of the PNM and has named Government Minister Stuart Young as his successor for Prime Minister. So
if you look at the fact that Keith Rowley was in politics from the days of Eric Williams, he was one of the few people who retained the seat when they had that massive 36-3 swing in Trinidad and Tobago. He maintained his seat. He has represented his constituency from then until now. He was one that when the government lost under Patrick Manning, he was vilified. He moved into the opposition benches, and he was easily elected as leader when Patrick Mallon failed to assume the leadership of failed to win the election. And subsequently, he has served 2 terms. So he's won 2 elections. The last one, the feeling was that it was a near miss. And there was an exhaustion where he was concerned. I think he is correct in reading the tea leaves and saying that this is a good point in which he should exit politics because there is an exhaustion with him. I think there's also an exhaustion with Kamala Persad-Bissessar.
Meanwhile, in Guyana, Mr. Wickham believes President Irfan Ali is in a strong position heading into the elections.
I can't imagine a leader wanting to have it better than him. Look, his challenge that he has right now is the fact that people think that the cost of living in Guyana is too high. And that is entirely normal because as the economy grows, you have the age-old economic question of inflation.
Dr. Lisa Indar, a seasoned public health leader and former interim executive director, is now officially at the helm of the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPA. She joins TTT News to share her vision for the agency, including pandemic preparedness, resource mobilization, and the impact of technology on public health.
We are excited at this time to welcome Dr. Lisa Indar as the new Executive Director of the Caribbean Public Health Agency, which many of you know as CARPA. With a wealth of experience in public health leadership and previously serving as the ad interim Executive Director, Dr. Indar steps into this pivotal role at a crucial time for the Caribbean region. So firstly, I want to say congratulations on your appointment, Dr. Indar, and welcome to TTT.
Thank you very, very much, and thank you for inviting me.
Not a problem. Well, we want to get right into it. We know that it is your vision for CARPA, as you have illustrated before, having an alignment and having interventions to the uniqueness of the Caribbean region. So we really want to find out, with respect to your strategic vision for CARPA, in particular the member states, can you elaborate a little bit for us on how CARPA plans to really tailor its public health approach for the diverse needs of the 26 member states?
Yes, thank you for the question. So, as you're aware, CARPA is the regional public health agency, and we serve 26 member states. But these member states are diverse and they have common issues, and they're all small island developing states, and they're diverse in the fact they have varying levels of capacities, surveillance and laboratory capacities, but they're highly interconnected. They have porous borders, heavy reliant on tourism and vulnerable to climate change, disasters, aging population. So these commonalities and their diversities in terms of political and their cultures and all of that, it really requires a regional type of approach. It requires, robust systems, political will, buy-in, and coordination so that, disease illness in one country more or less means a disease illness in the region because of our interconnectivity. So CARPA, as a regional public health agency, and my vision is to create Caribbean tailored specific interventions as meeting the specific needs of the region, tailored for small island developing states, countries that may or may not have regional referral lab who cannot do a PCR testing, or may not have the capacity to do certain things, may not have the capacity for early warning and response. Our goal is to provide that regional solution that can be applied across the board.
Tourism officials are optimistic about boosting airlift to Antigua and Barbuda after high-level meetings with airline executives at the Roots Americas conference in the Bahamas. Chief Executive Officer of the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority, Colin C. James, says expanding air access is key to attracting more visitors. Ursil Charles Jr. reports.
Antigua Barbuda's attendance at the recently concluded Roots Americas conference sought to secure increased airlift into this destination. Local travel and tourism officials held multiple meetings with airline decision makers in an attempt to attract more airline traffic and, by extension, more visitors. Roots Americas boasts a 91% fulfillment rate. CEO of the ABTA, Colin C. James, is confident the negotiations will bear fruit.
What you see took place this current winter season, particularly in December, with Delta going daily out of Atlanta, with American Airlines going daily out to Charlotte. is as a direct result of the work that we have done. That they have said, yes, we've seen the figures, we have seen the growth, you've convinced us, we're going to load up the flights.
The ABTA officials were joined by the CEO and commercial manager of the VT World International Airport. James says the meeting schedule was hectic as they quoted multiple airline companies.
Realize just as we're looking for more visitors to come in, as airlines expand with new aircraft, they are looking for destinations to send those planes to. When we were at Roots this year, we had 34 meetings in 3 days, just really constantly lobbying with all these airline partners.
Although much of the tourism marketing focus has traditionally been on securing the high-end traveler, James suggests the economic impact from those visitors who travel on low-cost carriers is not to be discounted.
Even though people may go for the high-end product, what happens? If they can get a very low fare, they tend to upgrade on the hotel product. So they don't mind paying a $300 fare to get to Antigua, and then they'll have a more expensive hotel stay.
For ABS News, I'm Ursel Charles Jr.
In sports, we kick off with football. 23 players have been named in the Reggae Girls squad for the upcoming Peru friendlies. Reggae Girls head coach Hubert Bisbee Jr. says the absence of key striker Khadija Bonnie Shaw is due to concerns with load management. He explains that with Shaw recently making a return from injury, the decision was made for the player to remain with her club, Manchester City, to ensure she remains healthy. Jamaica will play Peru in a pair of international friendlies on February 23 and February 26 in Lima, Peru. Trinidad and Tobago's hopes of securing a spot at the 2025 FIFA Under-17 World Cup came to an end on Sunday following a 2-0 defeat to Costa Rica in their final group stage match of the CONCACAF Under-17 men's qualifiers. Nasir Mohammed has more.
Playing at Estadio Alejandro Morera Soto in Alajuela, Costa Rica, the young Soca Warriors put up a valiant effort but were undone by goals in either half. Isaac Badia gave the hosts the lead just before halftime, converting a penalty in the 45th minute.
Isaac Badia slots it home and Costa Rica lead 1-0.
Ethan Barley sealed the victory for Costa Rica in the 87th minute, rising to head home from a corner kick. Coach Sean Cooper returned to a 4-2-3-1 formation, opting for a system his players were more comfortable with after previously using a 3-4-1-2 setup in wins over the British Virgin Islands and St. Martin. However, his tactical switch was not enough to overcome the Costa Ricans, who topped Group B and secured one of the 4 remaining CONCACAF berths for the Under-17 World Cup. Canada, Mexico and Haiti also clinched first-place finishes in their respective groups and advanced to the tournament. Head coach Sean Cooper acknowledged the team's strong performance, but lamented the timing of the first goal.
Well, I thought we played a very good game until the 44th minute, because it was a game where we had to play it as a final. You know, forget about the points, but just try to go for the win and be patient. Very unfortunate to get that goal on the 44th minute. You know, so definitely it changed our game plan.
In an effort to put Costa Rica under more pressure, Cooper made tactical adjustments in the second half. But the young Soca Warriors were ultimately undone by a late second goal.
But I can't fault the boys. They played well. I think they saved the best game for last. Today was a very good game of football. Very few chances. But again, both teams were that was a cat and mouse story going on outside there.
Despite missing out on qualification, Trinidad and Tobago's young squad showed promise throughout the campaign, and the experience gained will be valuable for the nation's football development moving forward.
And that's the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBC Jamaica. Thanks for watching.